Coffee Break Swedish Season 1, Episode 23. Hej allihopa och välkomna till Coffee Break Swedish. Jag heter Mark.
Och jag heter Hanna.
Hur mår du, Hanna?
Jag mår jättebra, Mark. Hur mår du?
Ja, jag mår jättebra idag också. Is that the right word order?
Yes, that is the right word order. You're learning.
Excellent. Well, last time we were looking at parts of the body and where we may have pain, for example, a sore head, a sore throat, a sore stomach. And the thing is, we didn't really take that any further, so we don't really know how to solve that problem. This time we're going to take a trip to the pharmacy and see if we can find some solutions to our problems.
Ja, vi ska till apoteket.
Apoteket. Now, we've covered apoteket before. In fact, I think it was one of the first it words that we learned way back when we were looking at places in the town and all that kind of thing. So, vi ska till apoteket. We're going to the pharmacy.
Var ligger apoteket, Mark?
Apoteket ligger i närheten.
Well remembered.
I hope there is one in the neighborhood. Anyway, I think we should get on with the lesson. Ska vi börja?
Ja, låt oss börja.
Okay, Hanna, we found ourselves in apoteket. What's the first thing that we'll need to know here?
So you walk into apoteket and you see somebody working there and you say, kan du hjälpa mig?
Oh, can you help me, I think.
Ja, and hopefully you get the answer, ja visst.
Of course, something like that.
Ja,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to go through several ways that you can say that you have different conditions. So you use har. We recognize har, don't we, Mark?
Mm-hmm. So have.
So, for example, jag har ett sår.
Jag har ett sår. That sounds like a sore. Like a wound, yeah?
Ja, precis. Perfekt. So, jag har ett sår means I have a wound. What about jag har utslag?
Jag har utslag. Ut is out, but I don't know what's coming out.
Rash is what
okay.
out.
Right, jag har utslag.
So that's the plural form, and you can also say jag har ett utslag, so you have a rash.
A rash, okay, so I have rashes. Jag har utslag. Or simply, I have a rash. Jag har ett utslag.
Ja, what about this one? Jag har hösnuva.
Jag har hösnuva. It sounds like the word for snow.
Okay. That is snö.
Uh-huh.
The word for snow. Here we talk about hö, and the second word is snuva, which we talked a bit about it last lesson when we've said about being sniffly.
Of
we
course.
said snuvig and snuva.
Oh, right. Would this then be hay fever?
Ja, bra.
Hösnuva. Okay.
Jag har myggbett.
Jag har myggbett. I'm not sure about that.
Well, it's something that unfortunately you may come across if you visit Sweden in the summer, is I have mosquito bites.
Ah, right. Okay. So, can we hear that again?
Jag har myggbett.
Jag har myggbett. Okay, so can we go through those ones that we've done so far? So I have a wound.
Jag har ett sår.
I have a rash.
Jag har utslag.
I have hay fever.
Jag har hösnuva.
And I have a mosquito bite or mosquito bites. Is this one plural or singular?
It's both. It's one of, so it's a net word. So it's the same in plural form, let's hope is singular, that
Yes.
you only have one mosquito bite. It's a bigger chance that that is going to be the plural form. So jag har myggbett means that you have loads of them, maybe.
Perhaps if you went to the pharmacy with just one mosquito bite, you may be overreacting somewhat. I don't know. So, jag har myggbett. Okay, I've got mosquito bites. Okay, is there anything else? What about if you've spent too long in the sun and maybe you're sunburnt?
Well, that's a funny one in Swedish because to be solbränd means to have a suntan in Swedish.
Oh, okay. So is there a way of actually saying sunburn?
Yes, we have to use the perfect form that we have talked about a long time ago, but I said how easy it was to use that you have something in Swedish. So, jag har bränt mig i solen.
Oh, is that like saying I've burned myself in the sun?
Ja, perfekt.
Okay. Jag har... Say it again.
Jag har bränt mig i solen.
Jag har bränt mig i solen. Okay. Right. The other har that we learned last time was simply I have pain.
Yeah, and that's quite simple, isn't it?
I think I remember jag har ont.
Yeah, so we can basically just say jag har ont, but we can also be more specific. So and then we use the preposition i. So jag har ont i, and then a body part.
Okay, so let's add some. Well, what did we do last time? Jag har ont i huvudet.
Bra. So I have a headache.
Mm-hmm. Jag har ont i knät.
Ja, jag har ont i knät. What was that?
I have a sore knee.
Jag har ont i magen.
That was I have a sore stomach.
Ja. So let's do some other body parts this time. Så, jag har ont i armen.
I have pain in my arm.
Ja. Jag har ont i näsan.
I think that's nose.
Ja, bra.
Okay, I've got a sore nose.
So if you remember when you say that you have jag har ont i something, you have to say it in definite form. So I just done some examples of different endings of definite form. So when you say that you have a pain in your foot, then we say jag har ont i foten.
Jag har ont i foten.
Bra. And then we have some ett words as well. So jag har ont i örat.
So is that the ear?
Ja, bra.
Jag har ont i örat.
And the last one, jag har ont i benet.
Oh, I think that was one of our bonus words from lesson 22, the leg, yeah?
Yeah, bra.
So each of these you've given us the definite form, so the arm, the nose, the foot, and so on. Can you give us just the word on its own? So an arm would be?
En arm.
And then that gives us the arm.
Armen.
A nose.
En näsa.
And the nose.
Näsan.
Then a foot.
En fot.
The foot.
Foten.
Let's do an ear.
Ett öra.
The ear.
Örat.
And a leg.
Ett ben.
And the leg.
Benet. So that's quite straightforward when it comes to singular, definite and indefinite, isn't it, Mark? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I think we're getting used to seeing these patterns. I guess my problem is I don't always know which pattern they fall into, as it were.
I know, and it's just quite a lot of practice to hear what sounds best. I thought we would have just a look at plural as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Indefinite.
I suppose you could have pain in both arms, for example.
Yeah, so it's really useful. I say in a positive way to have pain in both arms. So when it comes to N words, we have 3 different plural forms.
Okay.
So we've chosen one body part for each of these examples.
Okay.
So when it comes to an arm, in plural is a AR ending. And that is the most common plural ending. So if you're going to guess, Mark, always guess AR on the end. So en arm becomes två armar.
Okay, so en arm, två armar. Okay.
Ja. And this is going to sound a little bit odd with the nose, but we have en näsa and becomes två näsor. So the ending is OR.
I think we've seen that with en flicka.
Ja, and all nouns that ends with an A will have the OR ending. So we have,
good.
We can guess that. And when it comes to AR, the previous one, any noun that ends with an E will have an AR ending. So we have some kind of rules.
Right. Okay. So in this case, we've got näsa ending in A, en näsa, and that's the letter A in English. That becomes två näsor.
Ja. And then we have the third and the last ending of N-words, which is ER. So en fot is irregular and it becomes två fötter.
Now, there's a change of vowel sound there as well, isn't there?
Yeah, so it from en fot, F-O-T, to fötter, so we have a Ö sound rather than an O sound. And that's irregular.
Okay, so that doesn't always happen.
No, so you have a lot of ER endings that don't change. So, for example, a telephone becomes telefoner.
Okay, right. So that's nice and regular.
Yeah, and I think the rule is often with the ER ending, that is often the borrowed word. So if you see a word that comes from French or English, it's a big chance that in plural is going to be an ER ending.
Right. Okay, that's good to know. So you said that if the word ends in E, the letter E in English, then the chances are it's going to be an AR ending.
Yes.
If it ends in A, the letter A in English, like näsa, the chances are it's going to be an OR ending, like flicka, flickor.
Yes.
And if it is a borrowed word, the chances are it's going to end in ER.
Yes. So it
I
seems
like
to
rules.
be, my students are quite overwhelmed often when they go 5 different plural endings. But if you look at it, it kind of makes sense.
Okay, so those ones are the N words. What about the it words?
The it words, it's easier, I would say. So you have just with an N on the end. So, for example, you have ett öra becomes två öron.
Is that the same? Those are ears. So one ear, ett öra, två öron. Is it the same for eyes?
Ja, bra. Så ett öga becomes
Två ögon.
Ja, and as you hear, both eyes and ears are irregular ones. So we have an O on the end in the plural version, and you have an A on the end in the singular version.
Okay. And then you said there's another group as well?
Yeah, and this is my favorite group because it doesn't change.
It's excellent. I like those ones.
Yes, so you have ett ben, you have två ben.
Okay, ett ben, två ben. I think we heard one earlier also when we were talking about, what was it? Myggbett.
Ja, så ett myggbett, två myggbett.
Very good. Okay, let's hope we don't have any. How do we say no mosquito bites?
Inga myggbett.
Let's hope for inga myggbett then. Okay.
So when we talk about jag har ont i, and we do it in plural, we still have to do it with the definite form. And luckily, it's just 2 options here at least.
Oh, yes, good. I like this.
So you have an N version and an et version. So if we talk about arm, so we have armar becomes armarna. Så jag har ont i armarna.
Jag har ont i armarna. So I have pain in the arms.
Ja, and it's the same with the other N words that we talked about. So we have näsorna, fötterna.
Okay, so each time, regardless of what comes before the na, we just add the na to whatever the indefinite form plural is.
Yes, that's quite easy, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's good. So armarna, then it was nesa, which became nesor, nesuna,
Ja.
and then fötterna.
Ja, fötterna.
Fötterna, okay.
When it comes to definite plural or form of ett words, this is a bit tricky because we actually ends it with en. And we so use that en is it's a singular form. So my students always get quite stressed by this. But so you have, for example, öron becomes öronen.
Okay, so this is not an N word that's en öron or anything like that.
No.
Öronen. And can I guess the other one? Would it be benen?
Ja, precis. Så jag har ont I benen.
I've got pain in the legs. Right, so we've talked about different things that we might have, like mosquito bites and sunburn and other things like hay fever and so on. What I think we should do is have a break here, and then after the break we'll talk about a few other possibilities that we might need to be talking about at a trip to the pharmacy.
Det låter bra. All the Coffee Break Swedish podcast episodes are free, but did you know there's a full online course available?
We offer video versions of the lessons where you see the words and phrases on the screen of your device. There are lesson notes providing further information and additional vocabulary, and a bonus audio episode for every lesson.
To find out more about our online course, go to coffeebreakswedish.com.
Okay, today we are in the pharmacy. Hopefully not something that you would have to visit when you're taking a trip to a Swedish-speaking area. But if you do have to, then obviously we've now got the vocabulary to help us to do so. But there's more to learn there, isn't there, Hannah?
Yes, we talked about that you har something, that you have some form of condition, some kind of illness. But we talked about it in the last lesson. Sometimes we need to use är or you have a verb on its own when you talk about what's wrong with you. So you probably recognize these from last lesson, Mark. We said, jag är förkyld.
I have a cold.
Jag är snuvig.
That's the one that you reminded me about. This is sniffly, but it's not. Could you say jag är hösnuvig?
Jag är hösnuvig.
Yeah, okay. So I am hay fevery, as it were.
Yes, so you can say jag har snuva och jag har hösnuva.
Okay, I get it.
And you will recognize this one as well, Mark. Jag hostar.
Oh, that's I'm coughing.
Ja, but this is a new one that has is a verb on its own and is jag blöder.
I'm sure I've heard blöd before, probably in a song or something like that, but it's blood, isn't it?
Ja, so blood is blod, and that you are bleeding is jag blöder.
Right, okay, so blöder is the verb, and blod, B-L-O-D.
Yes.
Okay, that's for blood.
So we sound like we're really ill, Mark.
Yeah.
So we're not just walking into the pharmacy to make these statements. That we also going to say what we need. So
right,
we're going to use the verb behöver.
Behöver. I think we've possibly come across that before, but it means therefore I need. Yeah.
Ja, so you could say jag behöver en kräm.
Oh, right. So if you've got your utslag?
Bra! Jag har utslag. Jag behöver en kräm.
Right, so jag har utslag. Jag behöver en kräm. So I have got a rash. I need a cream.
And jag behöver plåster.
I'm guessing that's a plaster of an elastoplast.
Ja, precis. Bra. So when would you say jag behöver plåster?
Jag blöder. Jag behöver plåster.
Ja, bra. Jag behöver värktabletter.
We said something about värk last time, I think with huvudvärk and so on, with a headache. So is this an ache tablet?
Ja, so a painkiller would be värktablett in Swedish.
A painkiller sounds much more natural in English than ache tablets. Do you have any ache tablets? So, jag behöver värktabletter. Okay, so could I say, jag har ont I huvudet. Jag behöver värktabletter.
Ja, and that is kind of a general painkiller. You can also ask for huvudvärkstabletter.
Okay, so headache tablets, huvudvärkstabletter.
It sounds like you're going to take the easy option and ask for värktabletter when you're in Swedish pharmacy.
Tell me something, is that what is it we call it, the Foga S in there when you said huvudvärkstabletter?
Ja, huvudvärkstabletter.
So there's a little S that isn't there for any other reason than to make it join together.
Yeah, it sounds better, doesn't it?
Okay, it does, yeah. I'll give you that. Okay, so we've got these different things that we might be asking for. What other kind of things might we ask for? What else might you need?
Jag behöver hostmedicin.
Cough medicine?
Ja, bra.
Jag behöver hostmedicin.
Och jag behöver näsdukar och nässpray.
Right, this is something to do with nose, so nose spray, nasal spray?
Ja, absolut.
Nässpray, but what was the first one?
Näsdukar.
I have no idea what that would be.
So, nose.
Yeah.
And it means tissues, basically.
Okay. So what's the duk part?
So that duk is a cloth. So if you talk about a scarf in Swedish, for example, is halsduk. If you talk about a tablecloth, we talk just about a duk.
Okay. So don't get your halsduk mixed up with your näsduk.
No, nobody appreciates that.
Okay, so could I say jag behöver näsduk? Jag är snövig.
Ja, but I guess now you ask for one näsduk. Näsdukar. We have practice of plurals.
Plurals,
today.
yeah. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get very far with one tissue. Okay. I'm imagining the situation. I'm going into the pharmacy. I'm asking for these things. But could I also use a phrase that we learned a few lessons ago when we were shopping for Dala hästen and so on? Jag vill köpa.
Ja, absolut. Because when you say jag behöver, I need, it sounds needy, but it's something that is an essential that
Yes.
you need your cough medicine. But if you just want to buy something that is not that you just want it, then you will use vill köpa. Så jag vill köpa näsdukar.
Jag vill köpa näsdukar.
Perfect.
Okay. Right, I think what is going to happen now is we're going to put all of this together into a dialogue. Now, as usual, I've had a chance to read through this dialogue, so I'm going to be the person entering the pharmacy, and hopefully Hanna will be able to help me find what I need as the pharmacist. Det låter bra?
Det låter bra.
Okej. Hej, kan du hjälpa mig?
Ja, visst, är du förkyld?
Ja, jag är snuvig och hostar. Jag behöver hostmedicin.
Hostmedicin är på den här hyllan. Behöver du näsdukar och nässpray också?
Ja, det behöver jag.
Varsågod, du betalar i kassan. Krya på dig.
Okay, so let's do the same conversation again. This time we'll do that a little more slowly, and hopefully we can understand what's going on. There's a part where I'm not 100% sure about, and I think that's where you're describing where I can find the cough medicine, yeah?
Yes.
So give us just that line, and then our listeners can listen out for that.
Hostmedicin är på den här hyllan.
So what's hyllan?
is the shelf.
Right. So den här hyllan will be this shelf, yeah?
Ja, precis.
Right. Okay. So let's listen again, and as I say, we'll slow things down a little. Hej, kan du hjälpa mig?
Ja, visst. Är du förkyld?
Ja, jag är snuvig och hostar. Jag behöver hostmedicin.
Hostmedicin är på den här hyllan. Behöver du näsdukar och nässpray också?
Ja, det behöver jag.
Varsågod. Du betalar i kassan. Krya på dig.
Okay, let's go through this conversation now. So I began by saying, can you help me? Let's hear the perfect pronunciation of that, Anna.
Hej, kan du hjälpa mig?
Uh-huh. And then you, as the pharmacist, or the person working in the pharmacy at least, said,
Ja, visst. Är du förkyld?
of course, or sure. Do you have a cold?
Ja, jag är snuvig och hostar. Jag behöver hostmedicin.
So we've talked about this before. I am sniffly, jag är snuvig och hostar, and I'm coughing. Jag behöver hostmedicin. I need cough medicine.
Ja, precis.
And you said?
Hostmedicin är på den här hyllan.
So the cough medicine is on this here shelf, on this shelf.
Ja. Behöver du näsdukar och nässpray också?
So do you need tissues, nose tissues, and nasal spray also?
Ja, det behöver jag.
Right, we're going to be coming back to this sentence because I want to ask you something about it. But yes, I do, basically. Yes, that need I, literally.
Ja, and I say then, varsågod, du betalar i kassan, krya på dig.
So here you go, handing it over. Du betalar i kassan. You can pay at the till, something again we've had before.
Yeah.
Krya på dig. Get well soon.
Ja, perfect.
Okay, let's come back to det behöver jag. This is something I've seen a lot in various Swedish things that I've been reading, where you say det and then the verb and then ja.
Ja.
Now, I think we've seen it when you've said things like det gör vi, that we do kind of thing, that do we.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain anything about this?
I guess is when is the emphasis on, in this case, is the emphasis of you have asked me if I need something, and yes, I actually do. Then you do this word order, like you were saying with ja, det gör vi.
It's I think the way that in my head I kind of translate it when I'm hearing it and seeing it, it's like I do indeed. I actually do. It's that emphasis there. There's an extra word that we would put in English, but you can do that in Swedish just by turning it around and putting the det or the det first, and then the verb and the subject after.
Yes, that was a very good explanation of it.
Tack så mycket. Okay, well, I think we will leave things there. As ever, if you would like to get more out of this episode and all our episodes of Coffee Break Swedish, you can do so by heading over to the Coffee Break Academy. There you'll find lesson notes which explain everything in greater detail and provide further examples of the words and phrases covered. There is also a video version of each lesson where you can see the words on the screen of your device as you listen, and our bonus audio episode where we provide some additional vocabulary. And this week there's a dialogue coming up where we'll be practicing this vocabulary a little more, and some translation challenges. And all of that can be found at coffeebreakacademy.com.
And you can find us on Facebook. Just search for Coffee Break Swedish, and we post regular content to help you build your culture knowledge of all things Swedish.
Perfect. We will be back again soon with the next lesson. We hope you've enjoyed this one. For now, tack så mycket och hej då!
Hej då!
You have been listening to a Coffee Break Languages production for the Radiolingua Network. Copyright 2021 Radiolingua Limited. Recording copyright 2021 Radiolingua Limited. All rights reserved.